I am Nora Valdez, and I wanted to invite you to see Journey to Empowerment, a proposal for the 19th Amendment Centennial Public Art Project for the Cambridge Common. In my proposal, I commemorate and celebrate the passage of the 19th Amendment, giving women the right to vote in 1920. It is focused primarily on creating a contemplative and protected space with the Cambridge Common for personal reflection, creating a conversation between the past, present, and the future. Contemporary women stand on the shoulder of the women of the past. Journey to Empowerment will be a space of remembrance and inspiration that bridges the historical importance of women in the suffrage movement with present-day women. The visual element and the symbolism in this group of sculptures are designed to create a contemplative space for reflection that will resonate with people of any age, race, background, experience, of educational level. I want to create an interactive memorial for diverse people to be with each other, surrounded by historical, social, and cultural meaning, for people to linger, gather, participate, and interact. The Journey to Empower is articulated by an oval-shaped plaza that is fed by two sidewalks that lead from opposite sides into the plaza. Populate the plaza, and in the plaza will be the stone benches and the figures sitting and standing. I will be using traditional stone carving methods and a traditional durable material like granite. We'll create a monument called the Journey to Empowerment that will be placed in a harmony with the rest of the common, because you have a lot of already existing benches and granite monument, and some of them even very similar color than the one I will be proposed. So even if it's different, it still is going to be in harmony with the rest of the common, something to consider. This installation honors and expands upon Cambridge Common as both as the historical site and a contemporary civic space. Journey to Empower, elevate and celebrate the 19th Amendment and give it equal importance to other celebrate events, individual and American history, like the Revolutionary War, to Prince Hall, to the Civil War, to the Irish and Polish immigration. This monument will create an inviting, inclusive site that is accessible to all people. The path feeding into the plaza from Massachusetts Avenue in the east side, and the other path feeding from between the common from the west side, are designed to create an easy traffic flow, so people can just move very easily through the sculptures and without no obstacle. The plaza area will covered by dark gray pavers, covering generous oval area that is flush with ground level. Near the middle of the plaza, the figures will be placed along with, so it will be benches and other symbolic, so the figures will be with benches and other symbolic objects. Those feminine figures will be facing each other in symbolic conversation, kind of in a triangle, moving from the past to the present and to the future with hope. So let me describe a little bit now the individual figures. Also, just pay attention that, or note that these images, they are coming from very, very tiny little model that I carve. So when you do this, actually the feelings and that convey and having the stones 7 feet tall and 6 feet tall, it's going to be much difference. It will be amazing. So the individual figures, one of them, the one who is on the path, it will be a figure from the past, a little bit distant, representing the 19th century when the women's suffrage movement in America started. So this will be from the 1800s. What it will take it to see what is that symbolized that is from the 1800s, the late 1800s, is her hat. That is the type and styles of hat that they were using. This figure, so she will be walking toward the plaza with a small ball of wax in her arms. Near on the oval will be a second figure from the past, also holding a ball of wax, but with a large hat that was early in the 20th century, so that was when, so from the 1900s. Next to her is a cube from, in a form of a package with a small box in the top, representing all the struggles women went through to arrive at 1920, when the 19th Amendment was born. Across the 19th figures is another sculpture, this one set in the present, and arranged with blocks on one side to invite the public to sit and interact with her. Also, you have a little paper bag, kind of like the lunch, so people can come and actually invite them to have lunch there, sitting on those blocks and just interact and think with the sculpture. The figures of the present will be an African-American woman, which will be signified by her hair. She will be sitting with some ballot papers and flyers, thinking of all the human rights that we have yet to resolve. In particular, this figure contemplates the state of human rights in our minority community and wonder how best to carry on the legacy of the woman from the 1920s. Another figure, and just to finish the triangle setting, will be sit with hope and power, and is embodied by what I will call the future, which is represented by a child, holding the ball of wax like a trophy, hoping for a justice that can finally come into its rightful place. The child figure is set on top of a cube, and next to her are two piles of flyers. Those piles of flyers or paper form small benches upon which to sit, climb, and play, a way for small children to be part of the journey to empowerment. I just wanted to create also a small seat or a place, for children to play. Across the oval will be a large bench with back designed to sit, contemplate, and wonder. And this is like, I was thinking here more in the seniors and to create a seat a little more comfortable with a back. The figures I will carve will follow my signature style of carving, which is very generic, simple, and is figurative, because you can see that it's a figure, is a person standing or sitting, but with abstraction that does not represent feature on the face or hand, and with no many details. Thus, I leave it without face because I intend to represent the universal woman. Those figures in Journey to Empowerment will convey the feeling of woman without often an agency, expressing the heavy load carried by them, and who are expected to nurture, provide, and prepare children to engage with the event of their time. Without even the basic right of representation, women have always been expected to generate the future in practical ways. They do this without being noticed, very quiet and very anonymous. It is exactly what makes them also heroic. I want in Journey to Empowerment to represent all women and include all races and cultures and individual faces. I want to fully express the struggle to gain voting rights across race, class, and age group. My hope is that all women will be truly present in those sculptures, and that the viewer will feel invited to finish their faces in their mind, recalling or reminding them of any woman who inspired them. My sculpture will express power and strength through their abstraction and weight of material. They stand and endure like the force of a woman through the visible and invisible storm that challenge us and make us stronger. The sculptures and benches will carve from bare granite, bare gray granite from Berry, Vermont. Granite has a fine grain even when you texture, and it's superior, is incredible stone for the resistance of weather. It is very durable, it's the most durable stones in the world, and it is essential for carving capacity. That is a very used stone for outdoor sculpture. The light gray granite of the figures will be contrasted to the material on the floor of the plaza, which will be either dark gray granite or blue stone. So I propose the two. I mean, I love blue stone, and I think it will be it will create a great contrast, but I also propose in the budget with granite paper because it probably will last longer. I will carve each of the pieces with another artist, another granite artist, and probably in the beginning another assistant stone cutter, another assistant just to remove a stone. To begin the process of carving, I will create a scale model. So, because the model that I just did for this presentation is very small, and so you don't have all the great details, and so I will make a bigger model for them to carve, and so that way the people who assist me, they can follow. The gray, so how the fabrication, so the gray granite stones will be quarried on Berry, Vermont, and after the quarry, they will cut the blocks that we need, the size that we ask, as much as close as the size that we need for the figures, and those will be transported to the Carving Studio and Sculpture Center in West Rutland, Vermont, which I always rent their studio when I do public art. Our work will be done with the diamond wheels, grinder, and a combination of hands and pneumatic tools. After all the carving, so that's practically we are the stone and the carving, and that's how we fabricate this. We just carve. After the carving, all the carving is finished. The figures and benches will transport to the Cambridge. Will be transported to the Cambridge Common for installation in the designing spot. So while we are carving, maybe the preparation of the site will start and at the common. So the construction for the oval and the oval plaza and the foundation for the sculptures. The foundation for each sculpture will need to be deeper than the oval. Proper installation of the sculpture requires that we have 4 feet under the frost line, mostly to resist the New England weather. When preparation of the foundation is complete, we will bring and track with a track, of course, with the sculpture pieces, and install them using a crane. After the sculptures are settled, the stone paving can be installed, working around each pieces and cover the oval plaza and the pathway. The dimension of the plaza, it will be 36 feet by 26 feet with 2 curving 4-foot wide paths that connect to the sidewalks in the common. The figures will be slightly larger than life, ranging from 6 feet to 7 feet tall. I just wanted to create a little larger, but also to be more close or more intimate to our size. So we have like the women's from the past, that they have the hat from the 1800s, so that will be 6 feet tall. The other woman with that created that from the 1920s, that will be 7 feet tall, and it will, in the package next to her, it will be 2 feet by 4 inches, and the ballet boxes maybe 1 foot by 8. And so all this is what I'm telling you is just the height. The kid from the future will be like 5.5 feet, 5, and after it will be 2 feet, the cube where it will stand, that will be 2 feet, 6 inches high. Also the little flyers or paper piles that will be little small benches will be a foot and 6 inches high, and it's going to be kind of like a square. The sitting woman, so the whole sitting with the blocks there, it will be 6 feet high approximately, and I think it will be like long 4 feet and a half, and the same 4 feet and a half will be how long the bench with the back will be. So you can also refer to the slides with the PowerPoint. So before all the carvings start, I will hold workshops with the community of Cambridge to talk about a slogan, quote, or writing that will be incorporated into some of the benches, maybe the ballot boxes, or if it's necessary, we could also incorporate in the plaza floor. I will make them part of the project to have community voices represented and formed permanently, and to create a sense of ownership from the community. The suffrage movement was about people and their right. I want to represent that legacy, so I want to incorporate as many voices as possible. To assemble participants, I will reach to local Cambridge organizations such as the Historical Society, the Cambridge Art Committee, and youth organization, and of course the 19th Amendment Committee as well. I just wanted to incorporate also the voice of the youth. One of the reasons why I choose granite to do this, one is because the lifespan of granite and also the maintenance situation. Granite is very compact stone, so it's easy to maintain, doesn't get stained easily, and it's easy to wash it. So stone sculpture usually will accumulate dirt, bird dropping, sun mold, and grows, biological growth, and repeat. So sometimes, you know, it's recommended to be washing periodically, but in granite maybe every 6 years, every 5 years if you have mold growing. But it's good to wash it sun in a while, because also the rain, we cannot have to acidic, so sometimes that is not a good, and it's good to wash it with fresh water. Also for when if something happened with the graffiti or some sort of paint, power washing is also recommended to remove that. Maintenance of the journey to empowerment can easily be incorporated into the regular ongoing maintenance of other monuments in Cambridge Common, because a lot of them, you have a lot of benches that are granite, a lot of monuments all with granite, so whatever they are doing for that, it can continue for this project specific. Lifespan, so as I was mentioned before, the life expectancy of granite is 100 plus years. So journey to empowerment will extend for at least the next century, because granite is one of the most stable of stones. So the timeline that I'm proposing for this project, November, December, I would like to hold these workshops with the community to come out with the lettering part of the project. After, in March 2021 to April, March and April, I will start with the model to scale, working on that, and at the same time I will ask the quarry to cut the blocks and prepare the stones to be transported to the Carving Student Sculpture Center, where I will be carving, and have those done by May. From May to October, we will be carving the pieces. And I say October because after is the winter time in Vermont, which is very rigorous, and you can carve outside. And usually granite you carve outside because of all the quality of the air is necessary. So after I we cut for the winter. We come back April 2022 to July, and we continue carving and finishing everything, all the details. And up April, also in April to July, it will be the site preparation for the oval, creating the oval, the foundation, and have the site ready for bring the sculpture. And so I will say that the installation, it will be done in August, July, August, and to finish with all the paving, and we'll be ready to go. So here also I'm incorporating the budget that you can take a look at how all the different components to create a monumental of this site. Also, in the end, I incorporate a little bit of bio. You can look at it more. You can find out more about me. You can check my website, noravaldez.com, also in the social medias with my name. And I am an artist that born in Argentina, but I am an American citizen living here since '86, working in public art, doing community work, community artwork, art project. So always with a lot of social issues, very concerned with that, things of immigration, housing, so you name it. So you can look at it more about myself. So for me, I will be honored to have the opportunity to commemorate the women of the suffrage movement and all those women did for us. As a woman, as a person of Hispanic heritage, and as an immigrant, I will be proud to carry their legacy forward. Thank you so much for the opportunity to consider this proposal, and yeah, I'm very, very happy just to be among all of you. Thank you.